Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we are going to be discussing what we should expect from Bethesda in 2017. Mind you, I am talking about Bethesda as a whole, as in their published titles. We already made a video a while back discussing Bethesda Game Studios, which is entirely different, in 2017, which is clearly stated in the title of that video. You guys really seem to enjoy that content, so I thought it would be fun and intriguing to enter the new year with what I am personally expecting to see from Bethesda in the year of 2017, as well as hear from all of you in the comments on what you are thinking. In the terms of what we can confirm in 2017, we know that there will be at least a Bethesda E3 conference, which is always good news. Last year's conference held tons of surprises, although it's hard to imagine a press conference from Bethesda holding a candle to their first ever one in 2015 with Fallout 4 as well as Doom. Still, we know this year we're going to be hearing about at least 3 games from Bethesda. Those games are Prey, Quake Champions, and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. The first 2 are confirmed and slated for a 2017 release, but the last game listed hasn't been officially confirmed, although it was blatantly teased during their E3 2016 press conference. I'd be shocked if this game wasn't revealed with a brand new trailer at some point in 2017. Regardless, those are 3 games that we can all collectively agree on expecting to hear about throughout the new year. Pete Hines said on Twitter that there will be at least 2 announcements this year that he's excited about. Granted, this is a connection to ESO, but he could also be referring to Wolfenstein and something else possibly. Admittedly though, I feel whenever I pull a tweet from Uncle Pete's Twitter that I just tend to look too deep into it. I don't know how many of you out there have played Persona, but I'm guessing a decent amount because whenever I put in the background of my videos, you guys catch on to it right away, and I love that so much. Anyway, I feel as if my shadow is the part of me in 2013 and 14 that was looking so fucking deep at absolutely everything Bethesda did, but I just needed to accept that part of me and work on it to become better at that angle of my content coverage. Sorry, I just wanted to talk about Persona, to be honest. Where was I? Right. We were brushing over Elder Scrolls Online. Now, ESO is unsurprisingly receiving new expansions in 2017. It's an MMO, it's doing very well. What they are, I have no idea of, but I drew another fortune card from the Uncle Pete tweet deck to learn that this is something we can confirm. Not to get off track again, but my ESO somehow broke, and now I have to reinstall the entire game, which players of the game know is a daunting task. It hurts my soul so much to know that I have to put all those gigabytes back into my computer in order to play this game again. I wish there was some easier way to do it. Now, how about some speculation to round up our 2017 expectations for Bethesda? Bethesda seems to prefer releasing at least 2 games a year. They are a company of habit. We've nailed that down with Bethesda Game Studios, and it now seems that Bethesda as an entire company is modeling after that behavior of release schedules. One of the games will launch in Q2, which is the spring/summer, and one in Q4, which is where we see the big holiday titles. Essentially, they want one game in the beginning of the year and one game at the end of the year to have presence throughout the big parts of the industry year-round every single year. And I took note of this back in 2014. It started off when we had Wolfenstein: The New Order in the spring and The Evil Within in the fall. In 2015, it was Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited in the spring and Fallout 4 in the fall. In 2016, it was Doom in the spring and Dishonored 2/Skyrim Special Edition in the fall. Although I'm not sure if we want to count Skyrim Special Edition because it is a relatively low effort title release compared to the full production like other games I had mentioned. Also, this is not including games like Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, Fallout Shelter, and so on. These tiny little games that do release in the middle of all these other games that do excite gamers. I'm focusing on the big releases though. When it comes to 2017, my guess is that Prey will be Bethesda's Q2/spring title. It seems to be the most along in development compared to the rest of the titles that Bethesda is publishing. Quake Champions could arguably be Bethesda's fall title, but the only reason I'm hesitant to dignify it of that is because it's PC only. Not that it takes away from it, okay? But from the sales point of view, I imagine that their big title during the holiday season where they want to maximize the amount of sales possible would be something available on all systems, or at least most of them. Like for example, Final Fantasy 15 was one of the big sellers during the fall, but it was only available on 2 systems, but those were the bigger consoles. Once again, this isn't me taking away from PC, so all members of the Master Race, I ask that you lower your pitchforks, for I am one of you to at least some extent. Wolfenstein: The New Colossus would also be a great surprise for 2017 in the fall, But then again, if you remember, I have Bethesda's fall title for 2017 pegged as a game from Bethesda Game Studios. So from the outside looking in, it seems like Bethesda actually has a ton of options on the table. Any of these are actually possible, so it'll be really interesting for all of us to follow Bethesda this year, it seems. And considering Quake Champions is a multiplayer only title, I'd imagine maybe this can release amongst other games, similar to how Dishonored 2 and Skyrim Special Edition launched amongst each other. Obviously, Quake is a beloved franchise, so it will draw a crowd of its own, kind of like how Doom did. Also, if Bethesda takes a look at any of these games that could actually release in the fall of 2017 and think, maybe this could use some more polishing, maybe this could use some more work, let's not force this out the door, it seems like they also have a ton of other options to replace the fall 2017 title, at least from my point of view. It's entirely possible that I'm assuming too much when it comes to Wolfenstein the new Colossus. This could be a game that's revealed at E3 2017 in a teaser trailer, maybe something just a cinematic trailer, no gameplay whatsoever, and it'll be the big title in 2018. Or perhaps it'll just get a gameplay trailer at the E3 2017 conference and it'll say more next year, which is something they did similar to Doom. Do remember that during E3 2015, while Fallout 4 stole most of the show, that Doom surprised a lot of people and we didn't hear much about it until after Fallout 4 had launched. Then Bethesda initiated the hype cycle afterwards leading up to Doom's launch, and it seemed to work out pretty well, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was another marketing tactic that they are considering. Like I've said before, it's fun to predict and look at what Bethesda could be doing because they are very much creatures of habits. They have a very structured schedule that doesn't break all that often, so we're going to see a game in the spring and we're going to see a game in the fall. That's a guarantee. We've also seen the same thing, like I said, with Bethesda Game Studios. So it's going to be really interesting to take a look at all of this as the year develops. But I'd love to hear what you guys want to see in 2017 from Bethesda. What are you expecting when it comes to publishing? I'm with most of you guys out there where I think to myself, man, I'd love to see Bethesda Game Studios, but there's also the chance that it doesn't happen, which I said in that video. So if that weren't the case, then I'd love to see what you guys are thinking otherwise with some of the information I provided for you today. So let's hear it, people. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are, as always, in the description down below. Check out triggerbomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.